Corey Gamble never thought he would find himself in a situation like this. As a longtime companion of Kris Jenner, the matriarch of the Kardashian-Jenner clan, Corey was used to the whirlwind of fame, media attention, and public scrutiny. But nothing prepared him for the shocking moment he discovered that the woman he loved had been unfaithful. The relationship between Corey and Kris has always been a topic of public interest. Their romance blossomed amidst the glitz and glamour of Hollywood, drawing attention not only for their age difference, but also for their contrasting personalities. Kris, a savvy businesswoman and the mastermind behind the Kardashian brand, often projected a strong, confident image. Corey, on the other hand, was seen as more laid-back, someone who enjoyed the quieter moments away from the cameras. In the beginning, their relationship seemed like a fairy tale. They were often spotted together at high-profile events, sharing affectionate moments that melted the hearts of fans. It was easy to see why they attracted so much attention. Their chemistry was undeniable, and they appeared to complement each other perfectly. But as time passed, cracks began to show beneath the surface. Corey's world turned upside down one fateful evening. He had decided to surprise Kris with a dinner date, hoping to rekindle their spark. He arrived at her house, filled with excitement and anticipation. However, as he approached the front door, he noticed something unusual. The lights were dimmed, and the sounds of laughter drifted through the open window. A sense of unease washed over him as he knocked on the door, expecting to be greeted with joy. When Kris opened the door, her expression was a mix of shock and guilt. Corey could feel something was off, but he brushed it aside, attributing it to the surprise nature of his visit. As they sat down for dinner, he couldn't shake the feeling that something was amiss. The laughter he had heard earlier echoed in his mind, and a pit formed in his stomach. During dinner, Corey's instincts kicked in. He noticed Kris being unusually evasive, avoiding eye contact, and changing the subject whenever he attempted to discuss their relationship. The tension in the air became palpable, and Corey's mind raced with possibilities. Was Kris hiding something? The thought gnawed at him, and he decided to dig deeper. After dinner, Corey suggested they watch a movie. As they settled on the couch, he couldn't shake the feeling that he was on the verge of discovering something monumental. He excused himself to use the restroom, and as he walked down the hallway, he overheard whispers coming from Kris's bedroom. Curiosity got the better of him, and he paused to listen. What he heard shattered his heart. Kris was on the phone, speaking with someone in hushed tones. Her words were laced with affection, and Corey could feel the betrayal seeping into his bones. The laughter he had heard earlier now made sense. It wasn't just the two of them. There was someone else in the picture, someone who had taken his place in Kris's life. Corey's heart raced as he processed the information. He felt a mix of anger, sadness, and confusion. How could Kris, the woman he loved, do this to him? He had always supported her, stood by her side through thick and thin. The thought of her with someone else felt like a punch to the gut. Summoning every ounce of courage, Corey walked back into the living room. He confronted Kris, demanding to know who she was talking to. The look of shock on her face confirmed his worst fears. She tried to brush it off, claiming it was just a friend, but Corey wasn't buying it. The truth was now clear, and he felt a wave of betrayal wash over him. Kris, realizing she had been caught, broke down. She confessed to her infidelity, explaining that the pressures of fame and her busy lifestyle had led her to seek comfort elsewhere. Her words felt hollow to Corey. He had always been there for her, and yet she had turned to another for solace. What followed was a whirlwind of emotion. Corey felt his heart breaking as he listened to Kris's explanations, but he struggled to understand how she could betray their relationship so easily. The woman he had adored had shattered his trust, and the realization felt unbearable. In the days that followed, Corey found himself grappling with a mix of emotions. He was angry, hurt, and confused. Friends and family rallied around him, offering support and understanding, but nothing could ease the pain he felt. He spent hours reflecting on their relationship, replaying memories in his mind and questioning everything he thought he knew about Kris. As Corey navigated this tumultuous time, the media caught wind of the scandal. Headlines screamed of Kris's infidelity, and the public was abuzz with gossip. The very people who had once celebrated their love now scrutinized every detail of their lives. Corey found himself at the center of a storm, with every move he made under a microscope. Despite the chaos, he knew he had to make a decision. Should he confront Kris again, or walk away from the relationship entirely? The thought of severing ties with someone he had loved so deeply was terrifying, but the betrayal weighed heavily on his heart. He began to realize that love could sometimes blind a person to reality, and he had to prioritize his own well-being. After much contemplation, Corey made the difficult choice to step away from the relationship. It was a painful decision, but he understood that he deserved someone who valued him and their connection. As he moved on, he focused on healing and rediscovering himself outside of the spotlight. Kris, realizing the gravity of her actions, expressed her regret publicly. She acknowledged the hurt she had caused Corey and emphasized the need for personal growth. The world watched as she navigated the aftermath of the scandal, attempting to rebuild her image while grappling with the consequences of her choices. For Corey, the journey to recovery was not easy. He leaned on friends for support and took time to focus on his passions, rediscovering the joys of life outside of his relationship. He began to understand that love should never come at the cost of self-respect, and he emerged stronger, wiser, and more resilient. Over time, the media frenzy began to fade. The public's attention shifted to other stories, leaving Corey and Kris to their respective paths. While their relationship had ended, both individuals learned valuable lessons about love, trust, and the importance of honesty. As the dust settled, Corey found solace in the knowledge that he had made the right choice. He had faced the unimaginable and emerged with a clearer understanding of what he wanted in life. The experience had taught him the importance of valuing oneself and recognizing when a relationship no longer served that purpose. In the end, Corey Gamble's response to Kris Jenner's betrayal became a story of strength and resilience. He turned a painful chapter into an opportunity for growth, proving that even in the face of heartbreak, one can rise above and find a brighter path ahead.